Hey YouTube, welcome to the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. Out here with the rabbits. I got a new set of Jclip Pliers off Amazon. It comes with 2 pounds of Jclips, and the seller is Rabbit Nipples, so that's kind of a funny name, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to be doing some modifications to these cages, and if you've watched some of my previous videos, you know that the does have been bred, and I might have to build some more cages. So I got the heavy duty Jclips, similar to these right here. This is a better attachment method than the single, so I can get the focus, single wire clips like this. See how loose this is on there, and then the heavy duty Jclips, nice and snug, and they don't really move. So I decided to go with this style Jclip to modify these cages, the doors and stuff. And see, a lot of it had just makeshift stuff on it. Somebody replacing all this copper wire that's been used for some of the clips and put it on there right. So I got those pliers, so we're gonna test them out and see how good they work on modifying the cages, and I'll be using them again to build the additional cages, the grow out pens for the babies, the kits that go along with the Jcut Pliers. I also bought a pair of Channel Lock 338 diagonal cutters with the extra long handles on them. They're 8-inch diagonal cutters. I read a bunch of reviews on the Channel Lock brand cutters, and they say the teeth on them are actually harder than Klein diagonal cutters, and my Klein cutters are used for electrical work and heat and air conditioning work, so I didn't want to dull up a couple of pair of Klein diagonal cutters I've got, so I bought these dedicated to use on the rabbit pens to cut this cage wire. So I'll be adding in feeders and stuff like this. I have to cut some of the wire out, and with the rabbits inside the cage, I'm not going to use the side grinder with the cutoff wheel or none of that, so I can clip with these real tight on the edges of the fence and clean the edges up, and it won't have any sparks or any metal go towards the bunnies, and not have to move the bunnies out of the pen, vice versa. So I figured it'd just be easier to use these, and these were on sale at the time I bought them, and links will be in the description, all this stuff. But these were cheaper than the Chinese made diagonal cutters, so I said why not go with the Channel Locks. They're made in America, so we'll test them out too, see how good they work on cutting this cage wire. Here's the Kleins. These are older. These are in my electrical bag. Yeah, they've been used and abused, but they've only cut copper wire. They've never cut any steel or anything like that. And these are 6-inch glow-in-the-dark Klein diagonal cutters. And there's the 8-inch Channel Locks. So if you hold them and look at the anvils on the end, you can see that the Klein has almost a bypass anvil to it, and the Channel Lock's just a regular, straight across knife and anvil set up. So the thickness too on the Channel Locks, the teeth on it are a lot thicker than the Klein, which electrician's tool, and I guess this is more of a all-around cutter. I use it for wire too, but just to show you direct comparison between the two brands of cutters there. Got the tools out, ready to work on these cages, get them in better shape. I got the Jclip Pliers, Channel Lock 338s, and the Jclips come with 2 pounds of the Jclips, and they're pretty good thickness on the clips, so let's see what it does. Alright, so over here at Miss Rose's cage, gonna work on this clip first, try everything out. So this has already been wired up with some copper, so I'm gonna leave that on there temporarily. So let's cut the copper off of there so we can put the Jclips in. Get that, pull it around, put that over to the side for later to dispose of. So I got the Jclips and the Jclip Pliers. I'm actually gonna sit these down too so I can work on it better. So put it in your Jclip Pliers, either upside, open it to the top or open to the bottom, doesn't matter. Put it around your wire, or in this case the wire plus the spring closure. Make sure you got it around both pieces of wire right there. And then just ease around, and as you're tightening it, make sure you're staying on both your pieces of wire. And so you can do it one-handed, no big deal. So there it is, nice and secure. All right, here's a close-up shot of it again. Spring and the wires under the circle of the J-clip. Make sure as you're closing it, they both stay in the J-clip, and just squeeze until it's tight. And there it is. All right, even on the horizontal portions of it, these pliers still fit. A little bit snugger in the sides, but still, I mean, it's easy. You can do it with a couple of fingers on one hand, and then just work it back out of your wire there, and there you have it. Another cool thing I noticed about these pliers, I don't know if anybody's noticed this using these, or if, you know, I didn't see anything in the description about it, but if you've got a spring clip and it's, you know, missing one of your wires on the cage, you can take it and the pliers right here, and the way this crook is built, and you can just squeeze it a little bit, and it'll either straighten or bend, you know, your cage clip for the spring hook right here. It'll bend it back whatever direction you want, so you can just take it and work it around. If it's, you know, too long, and shorten it up, or vice versa, go around the other direction and open it up. So that's another added benefit to the Jclip pliers that I'm using. All right, we'll try it on the cage opener, or cage at the top where they join, because see, this clip is missed. So there's a weak spot in the cage, so I'm going to line up the cage itself and put this J-clip in there around both pieces, and then just roll it around. Secure. So yeah, I give these pliers A+. And you can just, you know, if you get one that's a little loose, too loose for you, just give it a little squeeze and tighten it right up. So yeah, that's, you can see how tight that made the cage right there. And Mrs. Off Grid will pan over to the right a little bit here. See how tight the cage was there? Now right here, it's got more movement in the cage from the, you know, the little round style clips right there. So way better to put your cage together with the heavy duty J clips versus these little spring clips. So that about sums up today's video for the Jclip pliers. So we'll be using them again when we start building the cages. We'll bring you footage on that too. So thank you for watching the Off Grid Mountain Homestead. Stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe.